so this is our next country now that we said we were going to talk about. This is the second one. Has a very unusual flag, for one part. And it is also a landlocked country. It's not a very big country, but it is also landlocked between, which is called Tibet, China, and to the south, India. And it's in a very amazing place too, which we're going to talk more about as we talk about this country. Their flag is two triangles. It's the only one in the world like this. There is no white here, that's just the picture. We should have cut that out actually. And what it represents is the Hindu religion and the Buddhist religion. And the two triangles represent the two religions. And it also represents the mountains, the mountainous area that this country is in. Now, keep in mind, Buddhism, for example, a lot of people, Vietnam and China and Thailand, Indochina, these countries, Buddhism is very big, all the way out to India. And Nepal, of course. This is Nepal, by the way. I did it again, Bobby, it's your fault. Unbelievable. Nepal. All right, so I gave it to you. You wouldn't have guessed it anyway. I know. So I'm doing you, I'm helping you here. So again, as I was saying, Buddhism, don't be surprised if you ask someone from Indochina or India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and you ask what their religion is, and they say they don't have a religion. Because most Buddhists, to my knowledge, don't recognize Buddhism as a religion. It's kind of like a lifestyle and a belief. Where in other countries, Christians and Catholics and they all, Islam, they all call it religion. But Buddhism is a little bit different. All right, so Nepal is our second country on our list today. Next. Yes, there's a few reasons why it's famous, but it is it's in northern India, but it also borders all of these mountains, and we're talking thousands of miles of, well, maybe not 1,000 miles, but 1,000 kilometers or so, of amazingly huge mountains. What is the name of this mountain range is what I'm looking for here. And it is huge. I mean, there's a reason why the people from India and the people of China are very different. You can't walk across the border. And the border is actually along the ridges of these mountains from the top. So this side is India, that side is China. So it's no surprise that back in the Marco Polo times in the 1200s and 1300s, when all these empires were growing, there was no interaction between these different cultures, because these mountains are so big and so wide. It's almost like Asian people meeting North American people. The oceans prevent you from walking over to meet each other or to do trade. You had to go by ship or you had to fly. And there were no planes then, for sure. So it's the same thing. People couldn't walk across the border. You go that far into the mountains, you're just not coming back. It's as simple as that. Very harsh.
Is it Malaysia's mountain?
No. Malaysia is south of Thailand and north of Indonesia. And it is a rainforest landscape, not a mountainous landscape.
I guess it is Mount Everest, the highest.
This mountain range is the home of Mount Everest. Mount Everest. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. That is a picture of Mount Everest, which is correct. And it is found, Mount Everest is in Nepal. Well, it actually, like I say, Mount Everest, if I remember correctly in my research, the south side of Mount Everest is Nepal. The north side is actually, it's the borderline. And the other side of Mount Everest is Tibet, which is now ruled by China. Kind of a Chinese state now. Yeah. And that's why it's very difficult. So Mount Everest is in there, but where's Mount Everest? I know Nepal, but what is the mountain range? It's not the Rocky Mountains, it's not the French Alps, it's not the Andes. What mountain range are all of these massive, huge mountains? Running out of time. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Alright. It's the Himalayas. This is the mountain range called the Himalayas. And they have, if I remember correctly, in the top 20 highest mountains on the planet, like I think 19 or all 20 are in the Himalayas.
So there must be something wrong because here we have the answer is Himalayas.
Oh, is there some of them got Himalayas? Wow. I misunderstood. I thought it said Malaysia. Himalayas, yes. This is the mountainous region, almost impenetrable, very difficult to get through, as you already know if you saw the live stream about Mount Everest. All right, so it lies in the Himalayas. That's the area I was talking about. Next. Now, an interesting about Nepal, and I would have thought because they're such high elevation and they're in the mountains that they wouldn't have such diverse means many types of species, many types of animals in that area, and it's a fairly small country compared to most. But I was really shocked, surprised, how many animals unique to many places they have in this area. And this is one of them, but it's the one with the one horn. It's a little bit different. Africa has some rhinos, yeah.
Rhinos from Bobby.
Yeah, I was really surprised to read that Nepal has some of the greater white-horned rhinoceros. Rhinoceros is the long form, of course, but we usually just say rhinos. Rhino.
Zucchini is joining, say hello.
Zucchini, hello Zucchini, welcome to our live stream. So this one is a unique one again. They're in trouble. Not many of them left, but they are the one horn rhinos. Okay, so yeah, we actually find these in Nepal, northern India. Next. Now this little critter, I was really surprised by a lot of the information I got from this guy. He kind of looks like a raccoon, which is very popular in my country, in Canada, with the ringed tail. They're not much bigger than a big cat. They are very difficult to capture or to keep in captivity. They are what they call escape artists. They escape from zoos and all over the place. Anytime they try to keep them in activity, captivity meaning contained in a zoo, animals in the zoo are in captivity. People in prison are in captivity. This guy, yeah, but it's because of his face and his long face. If you see the similarity in how his long face, then maybe you'll guess the name of this little guy. When I saw him, I was really shocked that that was his name. But it's the red something, because many of them have this bright red coat on them.
Maybe Fennec fox.
Fennec fox? No, it's not a fox. It does have a fox-like look face. It does have a raccoon-looking face. But if you take a good look at his face, just take a look at that face and forget the body. What is he? Who does he look like? And I'm sure that's how he got the name.
Is it raccoon?
No, it's not a raccoon. It looks like, I thought it was from the raccoon family. But it turns out, and I can't possibly pronounce or remember what family it belongs to, but it's kind of in its own unique family of animals. It's not part of the raccoon family, it's not part of the bear family. I even thought maybe the wolverine family, but no, not the wolverine either. It's in its own. Most of its ancestral, its great relatives, have all become extinct. So there's really no link to this animal to any other species on the planet. And this is in the forests around the Great Mountains in Nepal as well. So nobody saw a familiarity from this guy's face?
Yeah, I think they are red pandas.
Yeah, looks like panda. Yeah. The name is actually the red panda, but it is not related to the pandas at all. Now, north of Nepal and going into Tibet and then back into China, there and to the east of that is where you find the giant pandas, and they live in trees as well. But there is no relation between the red panda and the panda bears. But yeah, these guys are called the red panda, and they are quite amazing little creatures. Red panda. Next. Now this one's easy, but I put it in there, of course, because you can find these cats in Nepal as well. Nepal, northern India, Bangladesh, which is the country to the east before you get to Myanmar. All the staff here love geography too. All right, this is an easy one. We know it's a tiger, but it's called a Bengal tiger, right? Because you have tigers further up north. I'm not sure if Mongolia ever sees any of the tigers, but north of that you have north of Mongolia in Russia and eastern Russia you have the Siberian tigers, and they actually live in the snow in very cold places. They're bigger tigers. I believe they're the biggest tiger the world has. These tigers in Bangladesh, the Bay of Bengal, are a little bit smaller but still big and bigger than lions, and still very dangerous. So they're called the Bengal tiger. Often you'll hear them referred to, called the Royal Bengal Tiger. And when I was younger, I believed that the white Bengal tiger was the Royal Bengal, but I'm wrong. They used to be called the Royal Bengal because the national anima for India and Bangladesh, all in that northern India area, is the tiger. So they refer to them as the Royal Bengal Tigers. But now it's just called Bengal Tiger. Now the reason we have some very unique white tigers, Bengal tigers, is not because they're albino. Albino is some people, some animals are albino, where every hair on their body is completely white. It's just they're just totally white. Eyebrows, eyelash, arms, hair, white. If that were the case, you wouldn't have black stripes. This is just a rare skin condition that tigers get just like people. And they don't have, it's called a pigmentation. Like I said, some words will be B1, B2 level. But in your skin, there are different pigmentations, they're called. And it's what gives you color. And these cats don't have it. That's why their hair doesn't become orange. So they're white, but they look really amazing because of it. So anyway, they're Bengal tigers.
Don't they say something like epic? Lions, epic? Epic?
How do you spell it?
E-P-I-C?
Epic. Epic. Right again, Bobby, what you're trying to say there. Epic what? Epic. What does it say?
It's just like lions, and that's what
Epic
I
lions.
say. Epic.
Oh, I don't know about that one, Bobby. They do have lions in India. There is a national park in the west of India, and I don't remember the name of that park, but they do have lions there. But I don't believe there are any other lions in the world except Africa. But tigers, yes, you can find tigers in India, Nepal. What's that other one? That other country just above Bangladesh? Baihan? I forget the name of it. Myanmar. They might even occasionally spread out to Thailand and in the northern areas there along the mountains. But that's about it for tigers. Next. Now, still, even Vietnam still has some of these. And we talked about the African elephants. These guys are a little smaller. They are the Asian elephants. Okay, and I don't think any of the Asian elephants have the tusks that we talked about as well. I don't think so. But Nepal, as well, again, surprise, surprise. They got rhinos, they got red pandas, they've got elephants, and they've got tigers. So that would be an interesting walk in the forest. For sure. I got a couple of other scary things too that we're going to get to. Next. Even got alligators. Now, there's a river that runs south of Nepal and runs through India. And it's a very famous, it's a very big river. It's called the Ganges River. Unfortunately now it's very polluted and there are like 300 million people that live on the river. So these poor little crocodiles, and it's not called a crocodile, and it's not an alligator. These are freshwater, I guess they're the alligator family, but they're called narrow-snouted gharial. They're not big crocodiles or alligators. They're called gharials. They have a very small snout. That's what it is, a snout. A snout also, a dog they have the long, elongated nose and jaw. It's called a snout as well.
What the cracker crocodile?
A cracker crocodile. Yeah. These guys are pretty amazing at catching fish with those chopstick mouth he has here. It's pretty, they're pretty effective. But yeah, they're having a hard time because the river is very polluted and it's overpopulated. So there may not be many of these left in the wild for long. But you can also find these in Nepal as well. Again, surprise, surprise. I am really surprised. Narrow, meaning not wide, narrow valley, narrow gateway, narrow alley, narrow snout. So, snouted gharial. So yes, you'll even find these near the mountains. All right, there's another one that I don't think it's going to come up yet, but we couldn't get a proper copyright picture. And I'll just talk about it. It's called the Genghis Dolphin. Yeah, you would think dolphins live in the oceans, right? But actually, this Ganges River has a freshwater dolphin as well. And they don't see very well, but they're dolphins, and I wish we had a picture to show you. They're amazing, but they're also in a lot of trouble. A lot of those animals are endangered. That evil word, endangered. So yeah, very surprising how many animals they have in Nepal. And of course, the legendary. He is famous through the Nepal mountainous regions. I'm sure someone knows his name or their name. Maybe it's a her. It's quite a beard. I don't think so. I'm gonna guess the males have bigger beards, kind of like the lions and the lioness. That's my guess. I've never had coffee with one of these guys or tea, so who knows? It's not a gorilla. Apparently they live up in the mountains and in the forests. And scary stories about them. Who knows this one? Someone knows this, I'm sure of it. It's come up in many of our classes, so all of you students that are watching now that have done interest classes with me, we've talked about them. There's a very similar one that lives in North America as well. Well, they say lives in North America. That's the problem. There's never been any proof. Some people say they've seen them, but no one has ever found a body. No one has ever found any real proof. So it's still unproven. All right, let's do it. Yeah, most people locals call him a Yeti. Other people have called it the abominable snowman. Yeah, and it's an ape-like creature, very big, 10, 12 feet tall. I guess it would be like 2.5 meters tall. Big feet. And they say that it lives there. People say they have seen them, but very popular.